Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, making some really good trades. And let me just disable this image tinter here so we get a little bit of a clear screen. There we go. So right off the bat, the markets had a very nice little update today, and I guess you could make the case that it was retesting this trend line here that we broke down from, and it kind of retested it as resistance. So are we actually going to get some further downside price action here to this buy area at 508 to 497? Yes, it's still possible. We can do that. But I wouldn't bet the farm on it. The market is just so bullish. We actually had hotter than expected data today. If we dig right into it, the non-farm payrolls came in at 303,000 when the expectation was 212,000. But I think hourly earnings slowed down a bit, or wage growth was slowing down. So that's what really sparked the bullishness in the market, I guess. And they were just the market seems to ignore the bad news and focus on the good news. So that's why it's still possible for us to get this melt up scenario here, for us to go to all-time highs, new all-time highs, and continue to surge. And people are saying, what if the Fed raises rates? So my argument to that would be, I listen. I think the Fed should be raising rates. I think the Fed needs to raise rates, but they won't. Right? The right thing to do would be to raise rates because inflation is clearly not under control still. And the fact that they keep hinting that they're gonna stop, hiking at any moment, is causing inflation to go up even more and people FOMOing into the market. Um, but when you take a look at gold and silver commodities, they are pushing at 52-week highs. Gold closing at a new all-time high today, a new all-time high on the daily time frame, a new all-time high on the weekly time frame. I've been heavily invested in the precious metal sector for a very long time, so this is really nice to see finally us reap the rewards of the stupidity of the Federal Reserve. And a lot of people who doubted that gold would ever get above 2,000, and now we're like $300 above. Silver, let me just delete this. Silver is also breaking out towards the upside here, coming back to the $27.50 level. Very bullish on silver as well. I think silver has been consolidating here basically for the last 4 years, and is now ready to break out and push the all-time highs and go to new all-time highs. Obviously, the top was here at the $50 mark, $48 mark, but I think that the silver miners are literally going to explode towards the upside. They are already exploding. I can talk about a few names here. This is something we've covered inside my Discord as well many times. We were looking at First Majestic Silver Corporation. You could see, we had a historical trend line here being held, and then boom, now we are off to the races. It is breaking out like crazy. How much of a week was this in First Majestic? This was a 27% move in a single week, right? And I mean, just people are just so dumbfounded. They're not really paying attention to what's happening in the precious metal sector, right? Everything is green. Everything is popping off here. Newmont Mining up 5% when they got downgraded, and people are telling me, this company got downgraded, right? It's time, you should get out. They got downgraded. Right at the downgrade, it's been going up 31% since then. So that tells me all I need to know, right? I've been very bullish in this sector, and it's just really, really nice to see finally some life coming to it. And again, these stocks are still very cheap in my opinion. I think there are some great deals to be had. Newmont Mining is still very low, but I'm not going to cover them tonight. If you want to get access to my trades, feel free to join the Discord with the link in the description. Westlake Red Lake Gold Miners was up 12% today. I also have a position in this one as well. Obviously, the smaller, more speculative mining stocks have a definitely more risk, but the reward can sometimes be tremendously more. Gold and AUMN is up over like 160%, but we will get a pullback eventually. and and then people will panic sell. It'll be a nasty pullback, but that's usually when you want to buy. All right, let me get over here and continue on our SPY analysis. So yeah, basically precious metals are breaking out. They're calling the bluff on the Fed, and this tells me that the Fed will not raise rates. And if they do, gold will get that big pullback, and that'll be the last time to buy. But the market will also crash. The market has been pricing in rate cuts. No more hikes. If they hike with a surprise, the market will tank. So I doubt that they will do that with elections coming up. SPY up 1%. So on the daily time frame, you're seeing some more weakness here with a 22 and a -5 on the dual band strength index. Prices, however, in the after hours were going up. So the after hours is still up. And then same thing for the triple Qs and the IWM as well, I think. I think we're still going to get some chop here before we ultimately, if we do start to roll over. If not, we're going to keep melting up. But when we take a look here at, let me just get over, I wanted to take a look at something else here before I want to continue. I wanted to take a look at Tesla in an individual name, but I'll just cover the SPY on Wave Edge first. So SPY, nothing really happened today, just liquidations candles all around, stopping everyone out. Daily time frame, lots of selling. Weekly time frame, we actually have a red cross now. So now we have another red cross confirming on the weekly time frame with a weekly overbought and sell signal as well. So is this really going to start the sell-off? Is the sell-off going to start next week? I think we have more economic data coming out next week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. There we go. So we got CPI next week on Wednesday, and it is supposed to come in hotter than expected on top of that. So that's just fuel on the fire. If it comes in lower than expected, then that'll be great. The market will rejoice and it'll rally like crazy. Hotter is no bueno. Anyways, let's move on. Let me take a look here at some individual names. So we'll start off with Tesla. Tesla, very big news-driven day today. Reuters came out and said that they were canceling the Model 2, and people panic sold and panicked out of their positions. Stock was in a complete free fall on like the smaller time frames, like the 5-minute, completely started dumping towards the downside here. It was down about 6%, I think, almost 6%. And then look what happened. Elon Musk says it's fake. They're lying. And then stock proceeds to rally all the way back up. And then I think we had some more good news in the after hours. They said that they were going to be releasing the robo-taxi for Tesla. And the stock is up another 4.5 or 4% in the after hours. So that's really good. So I think that we've called the low on this one perfectly. To me, this looks like it just retested the bottom. It did not. I actually checked. It did not make a new low. So the pattern is still valid. It's still a 1-2 right now because we have a low here at 160 and 51 cents. And the low here is, guess what? 160 and 51 cents. So they weren't even able to push it below by 1 penny. And so the pattern is still valid by 1 penny, right? We got to go 1 penny lower, then it's invalid. But until then, this pattern is valid, and we should start to take off here in Tesla. Let me take a look at NVDA. NVIDIA struggling here a little bit. You're putting in some inside buy price action. To me, this looks like it could be quite bearish and continue into this buy area at 842, sorry, to 763. That's my buy area for NVIDIA. After that, you could very well continue towards the upside. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple also in my buy area. Really just consolidating at the lows here. I really want to check what Apple's doing if we're seeing any buying. You got a weekly green cross, 4-day, 3-day, nothing too much happening. Daily, nothing. And then really, no, not really seeing too much buying. You saw some buying here at the lows at 168. So maybe Apple is really going to go for these lower targets at 159 to 148. So maybe that's really what's happening. So we'll see once we get there. Anyways, let's move on. Let me take a look at a few other things here. So I think we covered NVIDIA. We'll cover SMCI now. Take a look at SMCI quickly. So SMCI should continue lower. My buy area is 718 to 484. And I know a lot of people are going to say that's impossible. That's never going to happen. I mean, these people who are saying that are probably in denial because they bought at 1,200 a share or 1,000 a share. And once they see this drop, they'll probably panic out of their positions, and that's when we'll get a nice little rally. All right, let me cover a few other things. Let me take a look at, you know what? We'll cover PayPal. We haven't covered PayPal in a while. PayPal just chopping sideways here. Looks like it's just doing a B wave. I think we need one more low. Once we know the B wave top is in, I'll calculate the C wave target. But until then, this should actually continue higher in a stronger move. We do have earnings coming up in the end of April, so that'll probably maybe that'll be a catalyst for the wave 3 of 3. All right, let me take a look at some other things like TLT. So TLT is a very interesting one today. So TLT got some more downside. It seems to be pushing lower and wanting to push lower. This means yields are pushing higher. So we actually saw a big increase in the yields today. Not sure if this was at the end of the day or was that right at the beginning of the day. Yes, maybe this was like right on the date, the news, I guess. Was this right on the news? 7, no, it happened right around 12. So right around 12, we got a big spike in the 20-year yield. Again, it's in the resistance area, it's in the sell area. It technically does not have to go higher, but it can. It can go higher. This can put pressure on the markets. The dollar right now struggling. We got a big update in the dollar today, and then all of this was all the gains were lost. It really seems like the dollar, even with the dollar going higher and putting pressure on commodities, the precious metal sector is where really where you want it to be. Now it's like people are like hoping it stops going up, but I think we'll get a pullback, and once you get a pullback, you want to be long this asset. Essentially, you really want to be inside of it. You don't want to sit on the sidelines. I mean, if you're not at all, I would at least start a position and then add to it if we do pull back. Right? That's what I would be doing if I were not into this sector. So yeah, TLT should start to come lower here into this buy area. It already entered it, but can it go deeper? Yeah, it can. It can go deeper, but it doesn't really have to, because if they're not going to raise rates, yields won't rise. Yields will stop rising, and then they'll pause, and then you'll pull back. And then that's when this happens, when the yields go down, that's when you really get that bullish move in the market. Okay. All right, oil in my sell area right now. I know we've been covering oil for a bit, but at the moment seems to be quite bullish. And if it does continue up higher because of geopolitical events, and in that case, we would have to reassess the situation. And maybe this is an extended 3 and not a B wave. And this is not the bearish scenario. And we're just it's just bullish. It's just extremely bullish, and you don't want to get in front of this thing. All right. I think that's it for now. I don't really have much to add, guys. You guys know where I lean on the markets right now. I am long the indices, but if we do see a trend break, that's pretty severe, and then we'll get out of it. But this dip here should be supported, and we should continue higher afterwards. We still got a gap to fill right at 510. It's only 18 points away, or sorry, 8 points away. After that, you have the areas down here that I outlined. Same thing with the small caps, right? The small caps, I think, could be a tremendous opportunity. The stochastics look like they're already reset. Maybe you get a little bit more downside, and that'll be your final opportunity to get in for this big rally. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. We'll see how everything plays out. Let me just check the VIX here. So a lot of people are telling me that the VIX is breaking out. Which is indeed it is, right? Big spike in the VIX today. Seems to be pausing. Are we going to get some more gains out of it? That remains to be seen, right? Stochastics maybe seem to be reset here, and we could start to roll over already. I think the UVIX was down in the after hours, and the SVIX was up in the after hours. So overall, You know, I don't. Well, what is this? We're getting a stock split, 2-1, 2-1 stock split. Oh, it's a SVIX. Is that a? Oh no, sorry, SVIX, not SVXI. But yeah, overall, I think we should continue higher here in the SVIX and probably go to the 52 to $58 level. I think volatility will continue to get crushed. Daily time frame is looking a little bit bullish. You got green money flow, but we've seen this time and time again. Oh my God, it's breaking out, and then just the VIX gets crushed, right? Weekly time frame. Oh, weekly time frame looking quite bullish as well, crossing back into that green money flow. Are we really? Is this the crash that's about to happen? Right? Is this what's going to go down soon? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I know a lot of people are scared to short and scared to long, rightfully so. But I am positioned for either way. If we go up or down, we will make money. So, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me take a look at some final names here. We'll cover Mara, some of the crypto miners, and MSTR, MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy getting some big selling today, down over 11%. So I think this thing has ways to go down. I think it's long in the tooth. It's overbought. It's really, to me, indicative of possible wave 5 top, which means maybe Bitcoin really is not going to go higher, and this was it. But I'm still hopeful for Bitcoin, and I think we can still go higher. All right. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to join the Discord. I'm always there, and have a great weekend.